We have decided to study the relationship between suicide rates versus income per capita in the countries of the United States, Canada, India, Russia, and China. For a bit of background, suicide rates have been steadily increasing around the world recently, and we have been looking into reasons why. Suicide is a leading cause of death for most of these countries and a major public health concern. When a person dies by suicide, the effects are felt by family, friends, and communities. For our other variable, which is income per capita, you must find the total income of a country and divide that by the total population. According to Gapminder, these two variables are positively correlated. Before diving into our research, our hypothesis for this experiment was that citizens in these 5 countries would be less likely to commit suicide if their income per capita was higher.
For starters, we found that China and India were very close until 1990 when China's income per capita skyrocketed. As for Russia's income per capita over time, they had a small decrease from 1990 to 1995, then steadily increased ever since then. On the other hand, Canada and the United States are pretty similar in growth of income per capita over time during these time periods. We also found that India and the United States both had steady increase in suicide rates from 1990 to 2018, while Russia increased from 1990 to 2005, then suddenly decreased from 2005 to 2018. On the other hand, China steadily decreased from 1990 to 2018, while Canada stayed the same over these time periods.
Here's another graph given by Gapminder that shows the total deaths by suicide. And you can truly see here how India's suicide rates rises over time and China slowly decreases, while United States and Canada's both stay the same.
On this bubble graph, we see the positive correlation between suicide and income per capita. The first thing that jumped out to us was how all 5 bubbles continuously moved to the bottom right corner, validating our hypothesis. Individually, we see that China and India both stay at the top right of the chart, which means higher suicide rates, and more left on the graph, which means lower income. But we see slowly their suicide rate creeps down as their income per capita increases. As for Russia, Canada, and the United States, they stay more in the bottom right and creep slower to the bottom right corner than Russia and India did.
Lastly, this chart shows China being the best example of positive correlation by clearly demonstrating their income per capita increasing while their total deaths by suicide decreases. India, Canada, Russia, and the United States all have the same effect, even though it is harder to tell by this chart.
After conducting all of our research, we were able to validate our hypothesis and continue to wonder why these countries are having these trends. Our initial thoughts were that people who are labeled suicidal may not obtain the motivation to go to work and uphold a consistent paying job. Another thought we had goes back to the old saying, money can't buy happiness, but these trends prove that theory wrong. We've backed up this information by gaining information from a newspaper article by the Washington Post stating that people are generally happier as they earn more, with their joy leveling out with their income hits $75,000.
In the end, we believe that citizens who obtain a higher income per capita are less likely to commit suicide than those who have lower incomes. Given that the rate of suicide is highest in middle-aged white men who make up a major proportion of the workforce, this trend needs to come to an end.